Hello Scapers, 9HP here. Before we begin, I just wanted to note that this video is not only skiller related, like my other videos, but I really felt this was something worth discussing. I also want you to note that the ranting is real in this video, but with that are real and very important facts. So, honestly, if I were you, I'd just play Runescape while listening to most of the ranting parts and then look when it gets into statistics and such, as that will be a lot of this video. And also keep in mind that I am not someone who's against microtransactioning. I'm not going to be biased as much. I'm going to show the facts as it is and how it can definitely ruin the game if done wrong. However, I am not against that, and I feel that Jagex would not have added this if they were not in a financial situation where they felt they needed to do such. As when Treasure Hunter was first released, there was an outroar of hundreds of posts by the minute to people just wanting people to get rid of it, but they never did. So there clearly is something financially needed by this system, and with that, I just think there is a reasonable way to make it work, and so that is what I wanted to really get into today. First off, let's just begin with, obviously, as you can see, today marks the 15-year anniversary since the Gower brothers created RuneScape. Thus, I felt this was fitting to go over the big question, and that is RuneScape 3 now a pay-to-win MMO? As this really does affect the longevity of RS's chances of even reaching 20 years, I felt this was fitting because the Gower brothers always stood against RS ever becoming a pay-to-win game, and even went as far as to make an official Jagex policy against real-world trading / pay-to-win. And that former official Jagex policy goes as follows. Let me just look at my other computer here. Quote, "We don't want players to be able to buy their way to success in RuneScape. If we let players start doing this, it devalues RuneScape for others. We feel your status in real life shouldn't affect your ability to be successful in RS." So saying this, and that was the original owners, keep in mind. And the simple question to ask yourself throughout this video that I want everyone to just keep in mind is, has Jagex stood by the integrity, or by this integrity, or can you, quote unquote, buy your way to success? And with that, let's get started here with this. This chart shows the top 5 skills in a day gained by players, and as you can see, there's some pretty crazy gains, but it's nothing ridiculous. You're not seeing, someone gaining 30, 50, even 100 mil XP in a single day in any of these skills. Other than OMG here, obviously, that's a hint at this whole debate in the first place. But with these skills, you're seeing, pretty well fought. They're fighting for their first place, for that day, of course, but you're not seeing anything major. The most crazy I'm seeing is prayer, and that's at 11.7 mil, in which is actually quite tedious in game methods to be able to either earn that money or to efficiently get those bones, and also the fact of it being an in-game method, making it not AFK. You have to go bank and go back and forth to actually level this skill. Thus, it is part of the game, whether it has that great XP or not. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. But with this, when Treasure Hunter obviously eventually came out, the new owners had a response of their own to it, as it was getting a lot of hate. So I just wanted to go from their standpoint as well. And this is from RuneWiki. Quote, "With this great controversy arose from the new owners of Jagex claiming that 90% of members enjoyed the squeal, aka Treasure Hunter. The claim that such a large portion of the community enjoyed the content was cause for much anger, and was only furthered by using the data to call the squeal, quote, some of the most widely appreciated content released to date." With this response, Mod Mark also refuted the claims of it violating any real-world trading rules or real-world gambling laws, or providing an unfair advantage for players to, quote, buy their way to success, unquote. He states the system is designed against these and that such are impossible. So there you have it from the new owners. Treasure Hunter will not be a way to buy your way to success, as it is impossible. So then let's go to this. This is Dreeks. He is a skiller that is now the #1 skiller in RS3, and he actually Obviously, I'm going to know a lot more about skillers, as that is what I follow and am in game myself. so I follow the community quite well. But the original person who held first place for quite a long time, a few years I believe, was Red Tunnel. He refuses to actually use pay-to-win methods to level his account, which honestly, high respects to that. Real MVP right there. But Dreeks used it, and I honestly don't blame him, because most skillers, even in my clan, are having to resort to this just to hold their prestige ranks that they worked so hard for before the game was pay-to-win. And it really is kind of sad, because we work so hard for these ranks and we want to be able to keep holding up in competition, but now the methods are becoming treasure hunter related in order to do such. Right here it shows an XP game from 70 mil. This is a rune tracker that I'm using here, but also there's the Rune Math Labs, which both are very efficient for tracking stuff like this. But going back on dates, you can see here at the Treasure Hunter promotion for Smoldering Lamps, which gives you a shit ton of XP, plus uses up your bonus XP. But as you can see here, within a day and a half at most, this player went, there's the XP where it shows right up there, but he went from 70 million XP to 104 mil, aka 120 Slayer, in this amount of time. 120 Slayer. Now, if we think about that, years ago, even the concept of agility being a viable skill would have not, I wouldn't even fathom the idea, the concept of that. It would have just been stupid. But you know, they made Silverhawks obviously as a promotion item, and with that, agility became viable. But now you got to look at it as even skills like Slayer are becoming viable. So this is not something that is going to stop. Why? Because it is clearly getting supported, and it's not just a few players you're seeing here. It is a very, very wide community using these updates, and it's not because we enjoy them, it is because we have to if we want to hold prestige ranks. And it's quite unfortunate it's come to that, because this is a very much skill-based game, and as you can see with these skills, they almost, you know, at this rate they're going to be falling like domino effects, each of them just becoming more useless than the last by all these pay-to-win methods, and it just really sucks to see with just one update. But let's get into the next player here, Stee. Oh yeah, I forgot to show the dates. But yeah, see, November 28th. So I took a few screenshots that I felt were important for this video. I believe this is the correct one. Yes. This shows when they released the update from the 20th of November to the 1st of December. So that's how long the Smoldering Lamp event went on, the promotion. And you can see that from the 20th of November, the player went from 27 mil XP to 104 mil. Once again, 120 Slayer, and congrats. And yes, it does look cool as a skiller, but it is quite insulting to a player's integrity who actually earned it the hard way. Me getting my untrimmed Slayer cape as a skiller took me almost a year doing it the most efficient methods, doing my dailies, weeklies, and monthlies without missing anything, along with, you know, Viswax and other things just to really help me get up there. And it was really quite hard work, even if I did do it in quite an efficient amount of time. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3 days, somebody is gaining way beyond that, you know, times fucking 10 almost in terms of gains on something that took me personally doing it the endgame method about 2 months under a year. And I show that stuff in my past videos, but it's just crazy to see this through just one promotional event. So is the game pay to win? Without a fucking doubt. Like, there's no question about it. There's a pay to win method, and that debate, especially with my clan and these skillers, really comes up even in my clan, level 3s, level IIIS, which is one of the most popular RS3 skiller clan communities out there. But we've discussed quite a bit about this matter and whether or not it would count as pay to win, because technically players are using their hard-earned in-game gold to buy bonds. Thus, they're using their in-game work on a skill that, you know, like Slayer here, which might not necessarily be a buyable skill, but however, it's not breaking the rules as you are, you know, earning it with your own money, even though Slayer should have never became a buyable skill in any aspect as it's freaking Slayer, just like agility shouldn't have become that way. But as you can see, these promotions are only going to further that, and it's not going to end, especially with how much support it's getting. And we can't allow this to take over our game, because it's simply not the way RS was intended to be, and it will honestly fall if it continues at this rate. I do truly feel that. But yeah, as I was saying, the debate really comes in on players insisting that since they are buying bonds, that it is by no means pay to win. But to be honest, that is honestly a full 180 and contradiction on itself, because bonds are bought from players that are poor, and thus they buy bonds from Jagex. Jagex would not be doing these events if they were not making an extremely large amount of profit here. So by selling them, gold for a bond, you are then buying it from the player who just bought it from Jagex. So yes, you are paying to win these levels. The logic's quite simple on that, and to each their own. Honestly, if you don't believe that, then that's what you believe. But in my personal opinion, that is definitely the case, especially with such gains as these. But once again, you can't blame the players because they want to compete and be able to keep their hard-earned rank before this kind of shit came out, which is really where Jagex got us, where most games do not with this kind of thing, as where you can leave more early on. This game we were ensured that it would not happen, thus we put a lot more of our work into this. And by doing such, it's really hard to let go, especially for players that have played for so long. Like I've been playing since RS1, and I've really met some of my closest friends, and I've always came back to RuneScape over WoW and other MMOs because overall just I had such integrity behind the skills, and it bound me to such great friends, the integrity and work that I saw them put into their skills as well, and it clearly obviously lets you relate. But getting off the skiller side of things for a sec, for more all-around players, here's a really big gain. And as I showed you at the 20th of November right here, this player had 2.7 billion XP, so this is a pretty high-ranked player here. And through the promotional time, he was actually able to manage to get 2.9 billion XP. This is a 200 mil gain, player. Like, veterans know how hard a 200 mil skill is. Even in the easiest skill, it's not gonna take you 1, a 2, a 3, a fucking 4 damn days to get a skill to 200 mil, no matter what it is. Another one, Mr. Prayer. These are good friends of mine. Same with Steve, and I do respect these guys, and they're really good people, but they honestly have to do this to just hold their rank, and it really sucks. Because before that, they were really great skillers. They're not, by any means, not good skillers, but they were, really held high on prestige and integrity in that aspect. But you can see 17 mil, once again, a straight shot, 104 mil. Not even using the full promotion. This is 1 and 2.5 days. 2.5 days pretty much. This player was able to get 120 Slayer. Another player that I'd have to say I found for the terms of the most furthest gains, and this is, this as well. As you can see, this isn't the November anymore. This is May 28th, I believe, through June 1st. Both these. So May 28th. But yeah, that shows right here. Yep, May 28th to the 2nd of June. So, yeah, sorry about that. Misclicking some stuff. This is my 3rd video, so I apologize for that. So, show me a little slack here. Alright, but, so as you can see, the gains here on this are just outrageous. He starts here on the 28th, going into it at 5 billion, 62 million XP. And then he maxes his account. This is 5.2 bill is completely maxed. So he literally beat the game in terms of EXP, and that's obviously a big key to this game. He beat the game and maxed out in this promotion through 1, 2, 3 days of it. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty freaking crazy. I mean, yeah, congrats on becoming maxed through pay to win. But I mean, that's just not the way it's supposed to be. Like, he's just a master of money bucks, like, in terms of being able to spend freaking money in the game, in my opinion. So his name's quite fitting, but this is another method. I just want to go and show that it is not ending at Smoldering Lamps. They are making a lot of money, thus they are going to add more updates. And with these updates comes the newest update in-game, and that is Thieving and Slayer Skiller Dummies. And they really are dumb as fuck. Dumbass dummies, I have to say. They give you insane gains still, and players see this as another method that is not as OP as the lamps, as they're not opening straight EXP towards it. But especially as skillers, the Slayer is outrageous in XP, and I wanted to show that here. I've even met a clanmate when I logged in before this, when I was learning about the update, and I hadn't been on for a while, And this is a kind of guy who's kind of new to the clan, asking tons of questions with lower levels and stuff, but it's getting basic help. But yeah, more or less on the noob side of things in terms of his knowledge. Yeah, he went from 82 Slayer within the day I was off, 82 to 99 Slayer with these dummies. So this just goes to show it. You do not need knowledge, you do not need skill, you do not need even time really, other than to click game a billion times. But anyways, Trance here to show an example. I mean, it's a little more spread out, as you can see. It's not as crazy as a jump as these smoldering lamps were, but as you can see, as the date said, December 31st, this player went from 14 million to 72, almost 73 million, 70 million at lowest. So I mean, this is a huge gain in Slayer just from a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days work. And this really just goes to show how far this has come in terms of pay-to-win method. There's another channel you can check out, and this is a friend. That's his username, a friend who spends 5,000 keys during, as he says, an OP promotion. So there's other YouTubers out there, but I haven't really seen too much directly on the topic of just straight pay to win. So yeah, that's why I definitely decided to make this video. While items on the treasure hunter are technically won by chance, it does not count as pay to win to Jagex, thus because of this. And that the fact that you are guaranteed to at least win something, as I said before, over nothing makes it not legally gambling. However, from an overall general perspective, the question becomes more about the integrity of the game and the sense of achievement it gave players being devalued. And it really is being devalued when they have stated they would not allow this to happen. And if you track the players through these methods, you're seeing 100+ mil EXP in single promotions, which is just really, really sad for the game, especially since they're celebrating 15 years, yet releasing this kind of content. Which is where many players feel that RuneScape 3 has become a pay-to-win game. Many veteran players prided themselves on these achievements off the sole idea that Jagex always standed against pay-to-win, and while TH Smoldering Lamps are still at random, prices can still be averaged out to help players determine around how much money, gold, and even time will be needed for them to reach these goals. So there are, in fact, methods to calculate strategically how to use these smoldering lamps to your advantage and efficiently level using them with even a calculator. So there is, in fact, while it is still a game of chance, this is pay to win. And they can't keep using these respectfully pathetic excuses to keep defending it, because it's not. Now I just want to go more into a solution. You could choose to look this up or not, but it really could use the support if you honestly are agreeing with a lot of what I'm saying. And it's titled Solutions to Pay to Win EXP from TH. But yeah, as it states even from the beginning, I will be viewing this from both views of this long-heated dispute in posts 2 and 3, so please read all of this before jumping to assumptions and posting. Post 4 for quick solution summary, and we're going to jump more to that. And yeah, here's kind of more Jagex point of view on things. All this you can pause on if you need. But yeah, Jagex standpoint here. From a pay-to-win standpoint here. And lastly, the one that we're going to be discussing, and feel free to read this as I rant. But yeah, this is the mutual solution. Keeping in mind the financial standpoint of the game growing, that must still be maintained, along with keeping in mind the integrity and respect of players' sense of achievement being devalued. There clearly needs to be a middle ground, so how can we fix this? Raising, I know this is a big one that people do not want to fucking see, because they do not want to put any more money towards this, but raising the price of membership by $2 while still keeping all microtransactions. This includes bonds. Keep them how they are. Honestly, bonds stop bots a shit ton more than you think. Like, bots were a horrible problem, and this honestly has stopped gold farmers in their tracks like pretty well. And while I know paying for a bond for in-game currency is obviously pay to win in itself, these are one of the items that they're not going to take out either way. You can buy membership in game, and a lot of games have used and successfully managed to keep it without ruining their game. And this is something I feel that, and have honestly seen, players still using it to get money, yet still struggling and going through and getting 99 is the integral way of in-game methods. So that I respect. And next treasure hunter, the big one. It brings in great revenue. There's no denying it. It's gone too far now. It's too out of control for them to ever take it out. So that cannot be the solution. It's just to remove it. The solution must be to not have it not contain any pay-to-win, any pay-to-win or Pay4exp items, along with removing the following. Shark outfits. If you notice, like items like these are so overpowered that they go so far as to change the skill itself. That if you don't have these items, you're not going to be efficient. They take away, they change the skill into almost a whole another one by itself, allowing you to eat the raw fish that you are fishing at the time with the shark outfit, giving you a 7% bonus. Also for skillers, it really helps being able to go living rock caverns, and it doesn't even aggro the living rock dudes, so you can just go in there and mine your way to 99 as well, changing these skills entirely. So really what needs to happen is they need to get rid of EXP stars, lamps, and dummies. Stars are one that I could consider if they didn't add stuff like smoldering lamps, which allows you to take that bonus XP and turn it into a shit ton more by just using these lamps that take normal XP and add on that little extra unearned XP and just give you, as followed. The thing is, no new EXP items, and that's something Jagex does not get. If you do not want to ruin your guys' game, you need to get off this, and you need to stop making pathetic excuses on the smallest things, like, oh, well, since you can't technically win it by this method, blah, blah, fucking blah, it's not pay to win. Because it is, guys, and you're ruining your game, because players aren't stupid, they aren't blind. I'm the only one that knows how to look up these insane bullshit gains. Everyone to an extent does. It's just they don't realize how out of control this is, and it's not just these players. It is a lot of the community using this to hold on to these records. I should not feel that if I do not have an item off TH that I am at an extremely large disadvantage. That is exactly what the shark outfit did. Leave our skills to actual skilling in game only. I'm gonna say this to Jagex because I've actually heard it and looked into it, and it is actually a thing, believe it the fuck or not. I've heard people say Jagex calls Treasure Hunter a mini game, and that is not a joke. It is part of your game. So by saying this, I want to establish to Jagex, who is very good at going around and bending these integrity rules of theirs that they make. Have EXP games through only the game itself, with the exception, please read that, the exception of TH, which means Treasure Hunter. I know you guys know that, but I'm just making sure. Minigame, do not have EXP on them. The extra $2 per month should even out the loss of EXP given rewards. If it does not, however, then we have to look at the devastating fact that this game has died to the point that it must rely on TH's pay-to-win system to survive. Thus, an end to the game that we once stood with such integrity by, and such an achievement and sense of achievement and accomplishment. And by simply removing the XP and replacing it with creative ideas, like the skill outfits that gave 1% bonuses that weren't extremely overpowered, stuff like that just kind of slowly helps you, and it looks cool and it's worth getting. Like that kind of stuff, keep the microtransactions of Solomon's general store in terms of cosmetics and everything. Like that stuff goes successful as well, but you cannot be giving EXP to these players, because it is not just pay to win, it's pay to literally win EXP, and that is the key to this game. I am starting to rant way too long here, and this is definitely going over most of my ideas. But yeah, the goal is to get this on the Rune Labs and just get them to give us the option of a possible solution, paying a little extra membership, anything to get it so that there's not 100+ mil gains from a single game of chance, promotion. That's just ridiculous, and it shouldn't be that way. So the answer is yes. Runescape is a pay-to-win MMO, and you can look up the definition as to what that means, and no way around it. Even with their excuses, is it anything such other than that? To any of you guys that are still listening currently, you are fucking awesome, first of all, and I thank you guys for taking the time to look at this video. If you really do support this, speak up in the comments, please, like, on any advice, even if you are against this, dislike, I really don't give a shit. I just really want feedback from other players on this matter. because I would really like Jagex to see other people posting stuff like this and see that we're not okay with it, and it's not cool to the integrity of what we once stood by in such an amazing game. And through 15 years, it really has been an amazing ass game. But this stuff honestly is ruining it. And while I'm trying to, maintain the endurance through all of it, it's really hard when you've worked so hard the hard methods and the real in-game methods, which are fun and amazing, but just for them to be tainted over by players being able to buy them within the same week of what you've did in a year. It's pretty crazy it's come to this. But I mean, if you guys, this being to Jagex, if you guys cannot have a game, without it requiring items on it that give XP, if that's honestly the promotion that's keeping this game alive, then it's already dead. If that's not the case, then please get rid of these EXP bonuses in all aspects from Treasure Hunter, and please don't add it to Solomon Store or some shit. Like, legitly just get rid of it, replace it with some cool shit. You guys have come up with great ideas, but don't sell out like this, and that is really the breaking point of the game. If anything changes, I will for sure update you guys. I really hope I can spam post over this entire video, no longer pay to win or anything. That would be fucking amazing. But we all know Jagex is stubborn, and I know many of you think that no matter what we say, it will not have an impact, but they keep saying power to the players, so, which of course was said after hundreds and hundreds of posts were made against the Squeal of Fortune, and they knew that, hey, we need to give our players some say since we lost a fuck ton of them. But nonetheless, they're trying to stand by that. So for 2016 Revolution here, let's get this shit out of the game and have this game amazing. I'm looking forward to Invention, but I mean, fuck, it's like I might as well wait a year and just buy my way to 120 in 5 days. Simply going to be that possible. Everyone can just look forward to these promotions, and they're not going to end because they are so effective, so we need to stop supporting them ourselves. You guys have been great, and I hope this is given a good perspective overall on everything. But yeah, everyone have a great day, and thank you for listening.